Hey guys, it's Caliverse32 Special. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you stopping by. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a preview or a snap. It was a while back, but a couple months ago. But you were saying that you saw that I was getting into a little bit of gathering gear for reloading. I finally got around to doing a video to show you what guys what I got. I went with the RCBS Rock Chucker Supreme Master Reloading Kit as a starting point. Gives you a single stage, RCBS Rock Chucker press. If you ask Clover Tack over on Gun Channels, he suggests going with I want to say it's Dylan, but I can't be, I'm not sure. Progressive, that you can take a part of the mechanism out so you can use it as a single stage for learning, and then you can upgrade it later. Myself personally, this is an older version, but this is what I learned to reload on, so that's what I'm going to continue with. I'm not so worried about speed because I find it to be rather relaxing to reload, so I've just decided to stay with the single stage. I do currently load for rifle. Well, I learned to originally load on my .32 Winchester Special rifle, which is a necked up 30-30, old school bottleneck rimmed cartridge, which I have a video on the channel. If you want to take a closer look, you can look up the video on, it's actually the very first video I ever posted. Anyhow, the rest of the kit, it came with the press, the Uniflow powder measure, the bracket to hold the powder measure, 2 tips that I would thread into the bottom of the measure that are designed to have certain size case necks fit inside it. One smaller, one larger, so that way you can dispense directly into casing. A beam balance for weighing out the charges. A reloading block. Primer catcher, not brass. A multi-size Allen wrench. A pad for the you put your case lube, which is this here, on here, so you'd roll your cases back and forth on here, lubricate them, reduce the chance of them getting stuck. A hand primer and the tray to go along with it, which I have tried on a couple of my .32 casings and it works fine. Now, it was, to my understanding, that was the only option I had without buying some additional equipment, so I could, do my primers on the press itself. Opening it up today, I come across a a primer arm that, when I look more closely, I realize I'll be able to do my priming on my press, which is, again, the way I learned to do it, so that's the way I'll just continue doing it. Not to say it's the best, it's just what I know. There is some assembly required. I'm not yet, familiar with what everything is. Perfect example. I have no idea what these pieces are. We'll have to look that up in the manual. You guys are seeing some of this stuff not long after I saw it for the first time. Is the case trim and chamfer tool. More parts for the reloading arm. The one part of the set, besides the dies, which are caliber specific, the one part of the set that this didn't come with, that I still need to get, that I wish it would have come with, is powder trickle. If you have a powder that throws consistently, I've been told you can set up the measure once you've confirmed it's correct, and then you can just throw it directly into your casings. Hence the adapter tools. I was always taught to throw the powder light into the pan here on the balance, because I actually learned on a beam balance. Then you set the powder, set the a powder filled pan back on and run a trickle charger to bring it up to what it needs to be. So that trickle charger is the one piece I don't have yet. And then use a funnel to put it into the casings themselves. My apologies. And this funnel is supposed to be good for from 22 caliber all the way up to 50 caliber. I am thinking about getting myself a drop tube at some point so I can use that for certain cartridges. Other than that, when I introduce the calibers that I have the equipment to load, I'll show you what dies I got and what powder choices and this kind of stuff I've made. I will not be providing any reloading recipes. That'll be something you'll need to look up in a SAMI spec manual, which I actually have two of. I forgot to grab those. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Here is a Nozzler Reloading Guide 8. This actually came with the press. The other one I got is the Barnes number 4. Being that I'm in California and I'll be required to hunt medium game with non-lead, and I do choose am going to be hunting medium game. So black-tailed deer. I have Barnes is most likely what I'm probably going to go with, being that it's one of the more accessible, or not the cheapest, but one of the more commonly available slugs for non-lead. So I picked up one of their manuals. I do plan on picking up a Spear manual as well, because it's not a bad idea when you're getting ready to load a new a new load for a new cartridge, or just changing loads or whatnot. You're going to want to reference a couple different manuals. Some are written more conservatively, some are written less conservative, and so you'll get, even for the same slug, same powder, you'll get different charge recommendations. So being able to cross-reference between a couple different manuals is a good idea, so that way you can kind of start to feel out what a good starting load would be. Because you don't want to load them too hot, because when you fire a gun, it is a controlled explosion. The last thing you need to do is hand load something incorrectly and turn that controlled explosion into a non-controlled and have a pipe bomb going off in your face. There are a lot of people over on gun channels that know a far sight more than I do, and I actually ask them questions as I get a chance. Clover Tack is one of them. I don't have logos for them, but Dead Horse is another one. And the Crazy Scotsman has one of the things he suggested to me, because he loads, is actually to look up the reloadersnetwork.com, which I'm going to try to get over there to get some more information as well. Alright guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Just kind of wanted to give you a rundown as to what equipment I got. YouTube regulations prevent me from showing you the process. I do plan on making a video once I get all my... The next time you see this, it will be set up. I do plan on making a video that shows kind of the some of the steps that I use. And that will be available over on GunTube.org, which is the site created and owned by Nightstrike. If you haven't checked it out yet, I highly encourage you to do so. It just recently went through a series of upgrades, which is, lovely to hear. I mean, I'm glad to hear they're doing well. I know he is receiving money from Patreon, but not nearly enough, and so if you can help out, that'd be much appreciated. You can also check, so you can check me out on GunTube, but .org, so not .com, GunTube.org, as well as Gunstreamer and Utah Gun Exchange, or UTG, or UGETube as we call it. I also post to Instagram and occasionally to Twitter. Usually Twitter's more of a, when I'm posting something else, it goes out on Twitter to announce that I've been posting. It's not something that I do a lot of. Anyhow, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. Have a wonderful day.